OBED-EDOM, the Gittite. Obed was a Gittite, likely from Gath, who played an important role during the transportation of the Ark of the Covenant. When the Ark's initial transport to Jerusalem was interrupted by Uzziah's death, it was placed in Obed's house. He housed the Ark for 3 months. He received remarkable divine blessing in that time. His entire household prospered, demonstrated proper reverence for the Ark, and his blessing that his household received convinced King David to complete the Ark's journey. He later became a gatekeeper for the temple. His sons also served as temple officials for many years thereafter. His family continued in temple service, and he maintained faithful service to God. Some key themes we see in the story about Obed is that of divine blessing, how God's favor is placed on faithful servants. We see a sacred trust, how proper handling of holy things is done by him and his family. We see faithful service in his continued dedication even when the ark leaves his home. We see a family legacy about how multiple generations are used in the ministry and in the work in service of God. We see integration, how non-Israelites are serving God faithfully because Obed was a Gentile. Become a member of the channel and get exclusive members-only content, courses, articles, audio, and much more, all in one place. We add new materials every single month, and we'd love to have you. Check out the links in the description or in the links for the channel. Some key points. Obed was of Gittite origin, probably from Gath. He was the keeper of the ark in his own home. He was blessed by God. He had a Levite connection in his association with service to God. He was part of the musical ministry at David's tabernacle. He was a gatekeeper. He had a large family. He was trusted by King David, and he had large spiritual significance in the life of Israel by being the keeper of the ark. We saw economic blessing in his life, and his descendants held significant positions going forward at the tabernacle. He was part of David's reorganization of the worship in Israel. He was symbolic of God's favor. He's mentioned in the genealogical records. He is responsible for the ark's safekeeping. He made musical contributions. He is a small representation of the Gentiles in the worship of the God of Israel. He played an administrative role, and he was trusted with sacred responsibilities. His family had generational impact. He was located in the Philistine territory. He was part of David's musical establishment. He demonstrated hospitality, and his life is a testament and a legacy of service. Subscribe to the channel or St. Nicholas will slap you when you get to heaven. The lessons. A positive lesson. His son followed in his footsteps. We see that through Obed's obedience and his faithfulness to the things of God, his family and his children also pick up from where he left off. They become faithful servants of God because they saw their father doing the work of God. He worked for God and God blessed him, but he was also even blessed in his family, and the blessing continued through his sons in the work they did for the Lord. A main lesson. He was a normal man. He almost appears out of nowhere in the biblical narrative, and it is often like that the normal men, those nice, quiet families, those clean, neat, disciplined, diligent families that are no fuss in a church and in the life of a community. They are always there with a kind smile. Their children are always well behaved. They do not have to be up front doing the glamorous things. They are always willing to serve God, and they can do so generation after generation in a faithful and disciplined way. Good, normal, nice people who live a good, clean life. So forgotten in this world, because those are the sort of people that build societies and that build the world, that are used by God in humble and steady ways to spread the word and to build his way in the world. They are trustworthy. They are good citizens. They build good little families. They are the sort of people who make for good societies, that clean their cars and pick up the papers, that pick up papers in the parking lot, that return their shopping trolleys. A normal man can be used by God in quiet ways to do great things. That's the main lesson. A notable point. Obed was a Gentile, a Gittite, probably from Gath. God uses a man from Gath to protect the ark, while he used another man, Goliath from Gath, to show the prowess of King David. Both were used to prove God's greatness in different ways. Obed, a nice man, a normal man, a man of diligence, service, and discipline. A good man. Become a member of the channel and get exclusive members-only content, courses, articles, audio, and much more. All in one place. We add new materials every single month and we'd love to have you. Check out the links in the description or in the links for the channel.